There's cobwebs on literally everything, there are random uncovered objects around the room. And immediately we realize there is no chandelier on the stage. Bad start. There's a bust of a statue and a black and red dress, a pedestal and some other random stuff. The first of many examples of the sloppiness of putting this catastrophe together, and I'll be sure to point them out to you. You absolute troglodytes, why would you make it into a jack-in-the-box? Some foolish foreshadowing of love never dies, no doubt. Absolutely ridiculous. Bro, who said the old man could get out of his chair? What the hell is this? What am I watching?
You got new legs. New legs.
Okay buddy, so you took the trouble to cover the chandelier in a dust cover even though it's already suspended in the air. Why exactly? If it's already hanging in the air, it doesn't make sense for it to be covered. The whole point is that it's on the ground when the auction starts. Alright, so what's with all the hype around this chandelier anyway? It was advertised as scarier, dazzling, a spectacle. So far I need my spectacles to even see the damn thing. Is the whole gimmick that it has a little bit of sparks showering down on people? Give me a budget of a couple $100 and I'll just buy you wankers some sparklers at the dime store for Ruthie if that's what does it for you. I mean really now. Alright, so Raoul's got some new legs, and he watches as the theatre comes back to life. With no proscenium or chandelier, we're shit out of luck for the classic intro, so just do whatever I guess. Couple of things here, I won't go too far down this road, I promise. But excuse me, the bearded man wearing a skirt is serving what purpose now? Oh yeah? He's supposed to have a whip. But he doesn't, and it kind of removes the context to what is happening in the opera. These women are the spoils of war from Rome, as Hannibal approaches, but they just look like happy dancers here with some random shirtless guy. Of all the things to cut, a rolled-up belt just doesn't seem like a space saver in the tour bus. If the reason was because he had a dance number, it would be easy enough to hand it off or hang it up. But, that's cool, I guess. Is that a traffic cone as a paperweight on the rehearsal piano? Automobiles hadn't been invented during the loose time frame of the story. I'll tell you something right now. Paul, you lick spittle. If Maria had anything to say about it, there wouldn't have been a traffic cone there because it turns out they weren't even invented until 1940. That's at least 70 bloody years wrong. Okay, so now we're in the dressing room. Pretty iconic scene, and we're starting to see some major changes, and these are not just set changes but they're conceptual and contextual changes as well, and that really grinds my gears because Mr. Macintosh and Paul, and whoever else was handling this material, obviously didn't have a brain cell to rub together to understand why Christine had her own dressing room in the first place. It was more common for the ensemble of ballerinas to have a shared space, sure, but you can't trade that stupid note of accuracy for a gigantic plot hole. Here in this room he calls me, she says, okay, when? Since all of you girls are on the same schedule, when would she have time to learn to sing, with every other chick in the building walking in and out? You can't pretend to try and bring accuracy to the story, when you miss things like fucking traffic cones on the stage. You begin to see the breakdown of the understanding of these new hands with the material here. And it's only going to get worse. Bro, can we take a second to admire that mirror? I mean really, do they all have to look at their reflections at the same time as a group? The thing is a beast. Do you have any idea of how heavy that thing would be? It's made of a sheet of lead. You know what, screw the chandelier disaster, just tip that thing over, my dude. What in the world would require this mirror to be so big? I mean, really? I thought they were trying to conserve space. I'm just so confused. Our boy Eric must have some double-wide shoulders.
The Phantom was a brilliant mechanical engineer.
Laugh my ass off, are you for real? The mirror swings out like a door. Christine, get the fuck out of the way, this man is trying to truck you with at least 500 pounds of sheet metal. There's some huge element of sex appeal lost here, it's just so juvenile and basic. This guy was supposed to be the architect of architects.
Brilliant mechanical engineer.
Guess they don't make 'em like they used to. Wow, this transition is taking forever. I thought these sets were supposed to be updated and modern.
But what has happened in the theatre is that engineering, mechanics, lighting, sound and everything has made quantum leaps.
The set changes were so fast with Maria's work you barely had time to see everything happening, and it wasn't because you had to look at all the pointless little props first. It took 41 seconds.
Quantum leaps.
I can tell you it was less than 10 seconds with the original from when we saw the mirror close, and the doubles began the descent from the travelator. 10 seconds. Don't trade down, kids. You know what, I've just had my second glass of wine and I'm feeling froggy. Let's spice this shit up. For shits and giggles I'll take my favorite footage and time it as honestly as this one. Let's find out where I landed. Ha, oh wow. Would you look at that? I was way off. 6 seconds. Well, that was barely a palate cleanser, and honestly wasn't very satisfying because all I want to do is watch this now. Anyway, we all have to make sacrifices for the greater good. Well, down once more, I suppose.
Quantum leaps.
Hold up, did anyone else see that? Is that an overhead lamp hanging above the desk there? Something smells fishy here. We've got oil lamps on the desk, and candles in use, which I know took a long time to transition out of when electricity was first implemented, but wasn't the whole point of the auction scene supposed to demonstrate that the electric light was new?
And fitted it with wiring for the new electric light.
What are the dates I'm working with here? Let's see. What does Google say about the year this story takes place? That's oddly specific. I could have sworn they never specified a date. Now, when was electricity introduced there? Well played. Clever girl. Alright, I'm not done here. When was electricity introduced into the Paris Opera House? Always half measures. So close, and yet so far away, Macman. I just can't get that stupid little traffic cone out of my brain pan. Stop confusing yourselves. But mostly me. And just stick to a fucking date, please. Okay, so, we're going to see a pattern here. Your main character is wearing a cape, no hat this time, but whatever. This is the first interaction we see with them together, in this so-called updated version. They don't have the length to travel, so they just always look like they're waiting for the music to catch up. Phantom has his arm flapping at his side, looking around disinterestedly with his lantern, while the actor for Christine has to wonder why the fuck her character is so infatuated with this guy, who doesn't even gently take her hand at the start of it all. In fact, she thinks about going back and actually starts up the stairs, but he pulls her back down, what the hell, and then ignores her some more. and you've scrunched him on a staircase with his shoulder to the wall. He cannot move horizontally, hold her hand gracefully, or even guide her. Instead, he has his back to her, not a clue what she's up to, and obviously doesn't really care. All I want to even say about this horrible set, and the handcuffing they've done to their actors here, is that it feels high school, but I will not under any circumstances insult the high school productions I've seen online of the original. Some of them have done absolutely mind-blowing work, very true to the spirit of the original. And it just grinds my gears to see the budget wasted here on whoever the fuck Paul is, to try and redo this work of genius. And I've got a feeling this is just getting started. All I can think of here is when they say not to let your abductor take you to a second location. Seriously, this guy hasn't shaved in a while and the hair just isn't working out, babe. He's not hypnotizing or entrancing her like Phantom does, he's not even reassuring her by contact with their fingers. This is a disgrace to these characters.
The love triangle between the three people is heightened even more. Is heightened even more. Is heightened even more.
Why does he keep taking his hand off the fucking guide stick? It's driving me bonkers. He looks so casual and disinterested. This is all such a massive failure. Alright. So, we're finally at the damn lair and... wow. Look at this walk. I mean seriously, the heel strikes kill me. The man isn't mysterious, cat-like or hypnotic at all. He turns his back on the woman in the boat he just somehow got down here, and just tromps through his. Is this a living room? Or a bedroom or something? The fuck am I looking at here? He just jams out on his organ while she sings. Okay, alright, hold the fuck up for a second. What is the actual persona they're trying to do with his character right now? I just watched the dude fling his sheet music across the room. So what is it then? Is he an obsessed madman, or is he in love with his music? Because somehow the original managed to do both, and this one has eliminated both. Man. Never did I think I'd be cringing so hard to listen to the music of the night. I'm sweating bullets, man. But it's not in a good way. This is so embarrassing. His movements are so brutish and uncareful. Okay, I'm not going to talk about this for a minute and focus on what I'm looking at here set-wise, since Paul was deemed worthy to carry on Maria's work. What have we got? Buckle up, boys. The Miami, Florida flea market decorating taste of our genius opera ghost looks like he inherited some hand-me-downs from Grandma Phantom's attic. Is that a palm tree, or a Venus flytrap? Is it a lamp? What are you going for here, and what is the purpose of this other than to fill space? It holds no storytelling value, it's distracting, ugly, and looks more like a one-room apartment he's sharing with some flamboyant fraternity brows. His so-called lair is cluttered, confusing, and looks more like he should be paying rent than demanding it from the theater managers. Can you imagine the argument he must have had with his bros to haul that monolith to his virginity into the room? So the Phantom sleeps on maroon silk sheets on a double bed now? Who is he sleeping with? There's no mirror bride, so, plot hole. Number 2. Right there.
He's heightened even more.
Is this the relatability you wanted? Is this the dark and gritty persona you wanted to reveal, Mr. Macintosh? This guy isn't the master of his domain, he isn't even the master of his own hair. He has to blindfold Christine for fuck's sake. Someone get this man a straight razor and some barbasol. So far, my dude, this guy you're showing is an immature punk and that's really sad.